how do you feel if the woman is the breadwinner in the relationship?
Austin said it. Heck yeah.
And like,
Hey, equality, you know? Welcome back to Torvald Talk. In this episode, we're talking about what men want. In this episode, we're just talking about the differences between men and women, the likes, the dislikes, the similarities. I hope you enjoy this episode. If you enjoy it, please rate the podcast, share it, leave a comment, and thank you for listening. Who do we have with us today?
Austin Lee.
Sam Blue.
Jonathan David Fanning, a.k.a. J Fan.
Do you ask for your government name?
Social security number.
Tyler Self.
Tyler Self.
543-587.
1, 2, 3.
Selfless.
All right, so we're gonna go through some questions
Sick.
for the gentleman.
Is one of them what do men want?
Yes. What do men want?
big muscles.
We're gonna start just because it's more fun to do it this way.
Nachos.
We're gonna start with some of the questions that some of the ladies submitted.
Nice.
All right. We'll start with the first one. What is modesty to guys, and what is acceptable and what is not?
Jeans with no holes.
Shoot.
That's what I would say. I don't.
But is the question, what do you guys think is modest or immodest for girls?
See,
or what
this
is
is what I thought.
guys
I think
modesty?
That's what I
think
thought.
Let's take it from both perspectives.
Let's go both.
For guys,
Take this one away, J-Fan.
no, I actually do have some thoughts on this one, which I haven't, except for the past couple years. Probably about a year ago is when it was kind of made aware to me that like guys can actually dress immodestly. Because I was dating a girl and I had a girl's perspective at the time, and she would think that makes more sense. And so I think modesty for guys is I kind of had to start being aware, like, I'll just say it, like, don't wear something that really shows off your butt. Like, that goes both ways, girls and for guys and girls. I think be aware of the kind of clothes that you wear, as far as if you have a body, like for guys that work out a lot, I don't really love wearing super tight clothes. One, because it's not like an ego thing, but also like I've been told like tight clothes are not appropriate. Like if it's just tight all over, there are certain parts of your body that women are really attracted to, and so I think it's better just to, you can easily find something that's loose or fitting or isn't super tight fitting and still looks nice and is modest. And you also like kind of have to play into like, don't dress with your ego. If you're dressing to reveal your body as a dude or show off, I think outside of the gym, I think a lot of that can come from a place of either insecurity or pride. And so I try and do, for me, the best job I can of being aware of, having been told different things that girls find attractive on guys. I do my best to make sure that I'm not, like, for lack of a better term, like flaunting those areas of my body and making sure I'm covered up and nothing's like out there.
Like I said, you
Like,
can definitely dress to like exaggerate certain parts of your body,
Oh,
even
absolutely.
as a dude, as girls do sometimes. It's
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
you know, tight shirts around the arms, or
Yeah.
don't look at me, but like short Nike shorts or something like that.
Yeah,
But-
like 3 or 4 inch inseam shorts. That's a real
I
thing.
stopped at 5.
I'm
I'm a 5 and 6 guy.
Yeah, 5 to 6 is good.
That's a sweet spot.
That's a
Perfect.
sweet spot, yeah. But like, you can definitely dress to like, show off stuff,
Yeah, absolutely.
guys and girls. So like, always wearing tank tops and stuff like that. If you jack, the all the way cut down to like the waistband
ponchos.
tank tops. Instead of ponchos.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, but like,
I think also like knowing if you're working out, sure, like, but also there's still lines even when you're working out to not cross when you're working out, and being aware of what would make someone else stumble.
For sure.
And for guys, we don't think about that really and truly.
Yeah.
We don't think that, but that our physical appearance can like make a girl stumble, because we just don't think that women think like that, but they actually do.
No, that's good. Any other thoughts on that one?
I think he kind of nailed that, like right on spot, because
Yeah.
it does go both ways. It's not something that we like. I know it's a lot. Like it's very It's like that thought of modesty. A lot of people go to like girls, but it definitely does go both ways because it's not like obviously like biker shorts and leggings. Like they're very appealing to the eye and a fleshly desire of why.
But one, so I keep going.
Oh no! That's what I'm saying is like where the mind goes is like girls. So those like type yoga pants, like stuff that will show all of that. Like it's not safe for us as men, but it's like it definitely does go both ways. It's very interesting.
This isn't like it also you can get put into like that type of person too. If you,
Yeah.
if you see a girl always wear short shorts, like the type biker shorts,
you're that
always
one.
wearing like a crop top, it's like that's how she dresses, and you associate how she dresses with. And then if you see a dude who's always wearing like the tight Under Armour shirt to show off the abs and like the tight, it's like okay, he's
Or
a
any excuse to take his shirt off.
yeah.
Sorry guys, it's getting hot.
It's
Here.
like yeah, so,
Sorry, I'm not.
somehow there's oil on there or something like that, but it's like
Whoa!
oh my god, hold on like a little bottle, but like
Got
like
baby oil.
if you always dress like that, you're like okay, that's the type of guy.
Yeah.
But even though that could not be who you are.
Yeah.
But you dress like that just because that makes you feel comfortable too.
That's good.
Yeah, you have to. No,
Yeah, like you can get typed into something without even given the chance,
You have to
just by the way you
realize-
dress.
Yeah, you have to realize a lot of like literally what you said. Perception is often reality. The way that people perceive you is often not the reality of who you are, but that is the reality of who you are to the people around you based off how you're presented yourself to someone else.
Correct.
And I think the biggest thing to think about modesty, in my opinion, is really and truly, like this might sound lame, but like forget is the Bible. Your body is supposed to be gifted to your spouse,
Yeah.
husband and wife. So if you dress in such a way as a guy or a girl with the mindset that I'm gonna dress and I'm gonna be specific about not putting on articles of clothing with a heart posture of desiring attention. And if you remove that, if you put on clothes either because you like how, if you like fashion or whatever, but if you put on clothes without putting them on with a heart posture of I'm putting this on to get attention, I believe that heart posture, you'll find your wardrobe be way more modest.
That's how I was growing up in high school. Like growing up, I dressed to like impress, and I call people for church, be like, hey, what shoes should I wear? Like all that kind of stuff, just to get compliments.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, growing up, I love my style. It's like loud and it's my own, but like, yes, I get compliments still, but I'm not fishing them out. You know, it's just like that's who I am, and I'm really glad it happens. It's not like I fish them out either.
Yeah.
But it's just like it just happens. It's not like hey, I'm gonna wear this. That I want people to like notice this this shirt or this pant about me today. So I'm gonna wear style it up to show that off. I just put on basically shorts and a t-shirt now.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I will say, I do want to say one thing, like, just to get this one off my chest for people that work out and like hit the gym a lot, dressing to finger quotes here, show off what you work for, not a valid excuse to dress immodestly, even at the gym. Because at the end of the day, you have to realize your body is a temple of the Lord, and if you're going to get married, then that is also a gift to your spouse. So why would you want to show off what you've been working for to someone who's not going to marry you or value that?
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. We'll just do real quick. What is modesty in y'all's opinion? How a woman dresses. What's modest to y'all?
I don't want to say it. Never mind.
no skin, completely covered.
Completely
Scarf.
covered.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of touched on a little bit of it.
Sackcloth bag.
Sackcloth bag.
Back.
Sack. Show no figure.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's really what we say kind of goes both ways of like how you dress to accentuate certain parts.
Yeah.
I'm sure girls know what guys like on them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys know
Guys
what guys
know.
like on girls.
Yeah.
So it's like I mean, it's true. It's like accentuating that certain part.
Sure.
Especially like I know we're all in church, and it's not like that's happening here. I mean, it could, but like it's really not like that happening all the time.
Yeah.
But
100%.
You know, just cover it up.
Yeah.
No, well, I think again, the whole topic of modesty can be solved with what's your heart posture for what you're wearing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it might sound lame, honestly, or like, is God really concerned about what I'm wearing? Yeah, He lives in you, so He's concerned with what goes on you. And so I think,
And it represents how you are too.
And I think that like for guys, for those who have dated or are dating, if you have an issue with what a girl is wearing, there's a kind way to say that, and it's not him saying that because he doesn't think you're beautiful. It's because guys know how guys think. Guys know where guys look. And if you're planning on getting married, then all of that is one day for your husband. And so I think for a guy, like, what I think is really modest is when you can tell when a girl's dressing for attention, because you can be you can be completely covered up and still wear something that shows off the things that that a girl wants to show off. And so I think the biggest part of modesty is your heart posture and what you're wearing. And if it's not to get attention, then you'll find yourself wearing like very modest things.
Yeah. That's really good.
That's basically what I said. I just want to reiterate that. So
Sorry.
Sorry. Good job, team. All right, next question. What do you first notice about a woman?
Her smile in her eyes.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
I can attest to that as like, I don't know, are we trying to like talk about like personal relationships, or are we talking
you can go as deep as you want.
Physically, like, I smile, but
like, just like the way I've seen it is just like the laughter and like the genuineness that is coming from this person, because it's like, it's so easy to like, there's like a girl could have pretty eyes and she could smile a lot.
Yeah.
But you can really tell when it's genuine and when it's not. And whenever you like break down that wall, it's just very sweet to like get to like see that, because it's like it's exciting. It's like, wow, this girl is incredible.
What's the question again?
This is what do you first notice about a woman? Yeah. No, that's very true.
Second with Austin, like eyes and smile off the bat.
Yeah.
I look at shoes. I just like shoes.
Do you
can't tell.
Game?
Yeah. Well, no, but like,
yeah.
I mean, it's true. I like looking at shoes, so I'll see what they're wearing. But I'll also observe and see how they interact with other people.
Yep.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Tyler.
was disagreeing with
I think the first thing, if you're talking about the first thing that I or guys notice about a girl or who I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if it's a girl, like the first thing is like the first thing I noticed beyond physical appearance is how does she interact with other? What's her heart like?
Yep.
What is her heart posture? Her presence? Because I think if you really think about it, anyone and everyone can actually pick up on the presence that someone carries.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first thing that you notice is what do they like the feeling, their, for lack of a better term, their vibe and their heart.
Yeah.
And then you notice like, oh, her smile is genuine. Oh, her words are really genuine. Or her eyes light up based on what's on the inside. I think all those things, we notice that because you see the heart through like the genuineness of the eyes or the smile or the tone of voice.
Well, one of the reasons, I'll tell you, but like one of the reasons why I started dating Anya was I met her on like a Thursday night, and the first time I came Sunday night, the way she worshiped, you can tell she was in love with Jesus. And there's no like fakeness of like, how she dances or how she moves. It's not like putting on a show just to be like, this is what everyone else is doing, so I'm gonna do it too. It's like you can tell like she knows who God is through that. And that's what one of the first things I noticed about her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd have to agree on that. It's for me, it's how do they carry themselves, of like who are they in a group? How do they carry themselves, like what's their body posture, what is that called? Not body posture.
Body language.
Yeah. Hey, listen to them talk, listen to them how do they joke, how do they have a good time, do they look like a pleasant person to be around? Because I think that's a big thing for guys. If a girl is not someone pleasant to be around, even if she is really pretty, it's not it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of guys honestly short themselves on that and they settle for the looks as opposed to like a personality. Yeah. If the personality is not there, doesn't matter how good you can look.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I think a lot of people, guys, especially because we are visual, they just they short themselves.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah,
That's good.
let's do another one.
Y'all could stop stealing my answers. That'd be great.
Come on, Tyler.
Making sure people know I'm still here.
Just letting you know, Tyler did not leave. Earlier on, you might have thought so, but he is still in the room. He is here and he is alive and well.
You listen
It was
closely. He
it
said,
was like
"Yeah."
bang, bang, bang. I'm like, okay, that does hurt.
I don't know what to say.
If you listen
You
closely,
have
he
to have
said,
the
"Yeah,"
first answer for the
earlier.
next question.
Yeah, Tyler.
Okay.
Tyler, you get this on the first question. Okay, this one's kind of a long one. How do men want girls to act if he says he's fine being friends? So I'm assuming that's someone who's interested in a guy, but the guy has said no. Which, if I'm being real honest, that's few and far between. Of a girl being interested in a guy and a guy being like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's some top G stuff right there.
Tyler takes one away.
Like,
you get this question, Tyler. Come on.
And then we can even go flip side as well if we want to. Is it easier to go the other way? Let's do guy to a girl. If a guy was interested in a girl,
no, I could do the other way. Like, for me, it's just like, yeah, if you want to be friends still, we can be friends. But, like, if you don't want to be friends, then
yeah, I think
that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a very, like,
yeah.
black and white
don't over-
person.
I think
Yeah.
it's weird because like that's just a general question, but I think there's probably a lot more that goes into that, like the situation.
Yeah,
Because like, if it's, y'all talking a little bit beforehand, and then you found out they caught feelings, all this kind of stuff, whatever it was.
Right.
And it's like, now it could be awkward when y'all hang out or something like that if y'all do. Hang
right.
out.
If you're not actually interested or whatever.
Yeah, and if this is, situation, but they are trying to hang out with you all the time, but you are pursuing someone you would like to pursue, and they're sticking on to you, then that looks,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think
but
like baseline, if you want to if you like someone, like in that like romantic or like dating way, I would hope that you would know that person first. And then hopefully in that there's like real conversation that happens and there's clarity in that. Because I've found that whenever you're friends with the other gender, that there sometimes has to be a little bit more, a lot more clarity sometimes. Not always, but clarity helps.
Always.
not always.
Guys
Clarity,
do not
communication.
pick up girls subtle.
We've
established
there
that.
needs to be clarity.
Also,
Yeah.
just in general,
I
like,
was saying.
girls are, like,
I was saying in terms of like
Hint.
it depends on the
I
relationship.
ain't
That's
like
what
no
I'm
hints. Yeah.
Like if you're like, yeah, in terms of just like
Gotta
friends,
be like that third base.
Yeah, like give
Full
it
blown
the signs.
Yeah.
Like literally look at my
Like
piece
pull
of
up poster
paper
cards
and
from
you're
like weed or something like that.
nose, eyes, ears.
Yeah.
I got it.
I got it.
So if she
You
makes
want me
eye
to kiss
contact
you?
for
No,
5
I'm hungry.
seconds, she don't like me.
Oh.
But for 1 second, she does.
Do you want me to hold your hand? No.
Yeah.
I want you to get further away from me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Totally misread that one.
But no,
I don't
okay,
know
so
how I did that.
but going back to the question, if in that conversation, it was like, hey, what is this? And it was like, yeah, hey, no, like we should just be friends.
Yeah.
Right then and there, if you just leave it at there, then there's so much probably overthinking going on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, just be friends, but like this is what that's gonna look like. But
Yeah.
a lot of people probably aren't mature enough to have that conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I also just think if you're in a situation like that where either a guy's caught feelings for a girl, which is girls, if you're listening, there is no guy who is your friend who is just your friend to be your
No.
friend.
Yep, that's the answer
There
right
are
there.
zero exceptions.
Yeah.
There are zero exceptions. If a guy's your friend,
Unless it's work, unless it's like
even if they don't
something
even
like
know
that,
it now,
yeah.
they're gonna end up
Yeah.
liking you at some point.
Wait, what you just said?
there is no such thing as a guy who's friends with a girl just because he wants to be friends
Yeah, I
with
just
her.
wanted the people in the back to hear what you
Yeah.
said. So that's why
Yeah.
I should say it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time for
But-
the people in the front.
Guys are incapable of having a platonic
Yeah.
friendship with women.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
I don't agree with that.
It can't be platonic.
I said I don't agree with that, but
Well, okay, so I'll say
This is what I said earlier, basically.
You have to define friendship though, because a guy and girl can never be friends the way guys are friends with guys or girls are friends with girls.
Correct.
You have to define friendship as a very surface level friendship with a girl, and I mean like that is doable. Like I have that kind of friendship with a few girls, and we'll say we're friends. But when I say the language friend between myself and a girl has a very different meaning than when I say Austin and I are friends, Sam and I are friends, Tyler and I are friends.
Yeah.
Because Jeremiah and I, but we'll never have the relational depth or ever between a guy and a girl, and you can't because emotional ties get in. And so to say that if a guy has feelings for a girl or a girl has feelings with a guy, you should not be friends. It'll be painful, but the most mature and healthiest thing for your heart and their heart is to no longer be friends.
And the only friend, actual friend, if you are dating someone or married to someone, that's your friend, obviously.
Yeah,
Like, I hope so. But like what you're saying, like, if I'm friends with a girl, younger or something like that, it's literally just like, hey, fist bump.
what's up? Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like, if you ask that person, hey, are you friends with Sam Blue? Oh, yeah. It's
I like that guy.
I don't think I've had conversations with half my friends here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But like, we're friends. But like, us.
But
Like, we can go have a deep conversation, and that's me calling you a friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on different levels.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're not guys should not be having deep conversations with girls and vice versa.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be texting. There's no exception. I think very few and far between exceptions for guys and girls that are friends to be texting. If you're texting, Austin's
Yeah.
No, for real though. Because I've just been in circumstances and situations, and things were made known to me at an unfortunately later point in time,
And
and things were just really unhealthy for a period in this situation. And I realized, no, guys and girls, like, there's not any reason to be texting one-on-one. One of y'all has feelings for each other. Hanging out, doing stuff, getting coffee, like whatever, going shopping. Like, no. One of y'all has a level of attraction to the other, and it's unhealthy to do that.
And if it goes, I think if it goes uncommunicated.
Oh, that's even worse. Yeah.
Oh,
If
we're
it
just
goes
hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're not.
Yeah, no, you're not.
But like,
Bull crap.
but like, if you go have a deep conversation with someone, right, and they open up, and it's like vulnerable feelings, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then like, they know like that feeling's attached.
Yep.
To that person.
There's an emotional tie now.
Yeah, there's an emotional tie, and so then they'll go to you for their problems, and they'll, all this kind of stuff, and it just builds up, and then it's like, hey, I thought we were just friends,
Yeah.
and then it's just like,
Then people
then
get
there's hurt, and then there's all this kind of stuff, and then there's fixing, and you can just slap a band on it and be like, oh, well, that's her problem that she got feelings,
Yeah. Which you have, as a dude, you have a part to play
Yeah,
in leading them on, and
emotionally.
Yeah.
Sometimes not even,
Austin, you looked like you had something to say.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm very passionate on the idea of no deep conversations over the phone or texts over I don't care what the topic is. I just think it's just really, really gray area.
Yeah.
Or even social media too.
Yeah, it's just
In general.
I just don't think it's good news.
Yeah. It's just not wise. If you're not planning to do anything with that, it's just not wise.
And if you have a lot of
Even-
friends that are girls,
Yeah, even
It's a big red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a guy and you have a bunch of friends with girls,
It's a big red flag.
yeah, and especially to girls, that I think that's a red flag, because then it looks like you're a
Also,
you're a
it's a
player.
big red. I'll just say this since we're on the what do men want. It's a huge red flag if a girl's only friends are guys and she spends all her time with guys who are just friends.
Yeah, that's
Massive,
less drama.
Biggest red
No.
flag. Yeah, it's a lie. It's the biggest red flag in the book.
Well, I mean, it is less drama, true, but then it also it just looks weird. It's like, why are you friends with all guys?
yeah, and no dude wants to hang out with that girl because it's like,
No,
yeah,
no.
the guy best friend,
Oh,
The guy-
get the heck out of here,
It's one of the
dude.
stupidest
You mean the
things
Sims?
that
My
has
bad.
been
This
modernized.
dude.
That's one of
Yeah.
the stupidest things that's ever been modernized. It's like, oh yeah, that's my guy best friend. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No,
This
That's
dude-
your
this dude-
rebound guy.
Yeah,
that's your back burner.
yeah, exactly.
That's all.
You got
That's the way to say it. It's
That's
like,
the
oh
back
yeah,
pocket.
this doesn't work out. That's your rebound guy.
Also, it's
He'll
just
listen to me. He
But
talks
it's
to me.
it's
He's
emotional.
He's there for me. Yeah, and you're leading the dude on, and that dude doesn't have the guts to either tell you that he likes you.
It's also just so incredibly unhealthy for that guy and that girl. That's
Yeah.
why it's not. If things look bad, it's for a reason. It's because at the end of the day, a girl's never gonna get out of a friendship with a guy. If a girl needs a friend or a guy needs a friend, A guy's needs in friendship will never be met by a girl other than his wife.
Correct.
And even
They
then, you
shouldn't be,
still
yeah.
need friends. You still need friends that are men as a man.
Yeah.
And as a woman, you still need friends that are sisters because your friendship will never be met through the opposite sex.
Correct.
There's like stuff that like you guys know and that you'll understand when I talk to you because you guys are also dudes. Like, that's the thing.
Correct.
If I go to a girl to talk about a problem, they're like, I can't understand that. Or
Can't
like
help
they'll
you.
try to, and it's like it's not helping. It's just
Right.
Yeah.
Don't patronize me.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Any other thoughts on that? Men and women being friends.
Yeah.
Also, just a heads up, my recording stopped, so I started to do one.
Oh, no, you're good.
I'm gonna give you a heads up.
But
Terrible.
there has to be.
What was it?
I think there should be a little grace in a situation like that too, because if there's no communication, that's on both parties.
Sure, absolutely. I think that's one thing. Communication will save your butt. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's harder because, like, you're really exposing yourself. Like, if a guy was to tell a girl, hey, I really like you, or hey, you want to go get, like, that's a really vulnerable place for a guy to be.
Yeah. Fear of rejection is huge.
Absolutely. And I think that's one thing I don't think women understand. Dudes, like,
Don't want to fail.
they don't want to fail. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally one of, like, men's biggest fears is failure in every arena. And then for a dude to, like, say to a woman, hey, I like you and I'm interested in you, and then to get rejected, dude, it sucks. And so I think, obviously, like, you've got to be smart about who you ask and when you ask and why are you asking. But I think for guys, like, sometimes you do have to kind of to
And
man
show
up.
like, I don't want to say this, but like, show love in this situation and be like, no, don't talk to me. It's like, but don't leave it open of like,
Well,
we could be
maybe we
friends,
could be
and
friends.
then you
Yeah.
leave it open, but like,
Yeah.
it's that communication.
You do sometimes have to tell the guy, because I think that's one thing that goes even both ways. Of like, sometimes like girl will be like, no, not right now, but like I still want to be friends. Like, I don't think that's a capacity that most dudes have, especially if the guy likes you. Yeah, and
For guys, something my dad said, in the way that he has taught my younger sister how to deal with men. You have to, since this is like, I'm gonna assume probably a lot of women are gonna listen to this, is guys need need blunt, black and white communication.
Yeah.
No, like, maybe what ifs. Like, if you're not interested in a guy, don't
Just-
leave any. It's
Do
not
him
gonna
a-
hurt
do
his
him a favor.
feelings.
Yeah.
do
to
him
say,
a favor.
Yeah, it won't hurt his feelings to say, I do not like you. I'm uninterested in you, and please don't continue to interact with me.
Yes.
That is actually
A
what
grace.
that is actually what girls think might hurt their feelings.
That's
It's
what guys
so
need.
refreshing to her.
Yeah. Guys, it's like,
It's so
oh,
refreshing.
perfect.
It's like,
I was
thank
wrong.
you. It's literally like,
Because now you're walking
now
on
I know.
eggshells the whole time.
Yeah. It's like, thank God now I know how
Yeah.
to interact with you. That's completely gone.
Yeah.
I can be cordial, not think. I
It's not
know that you will
weird.
never be interested in me that way.
Yes.
Praise God. Now I know how to interact
Yeah.
with you.
And then also, then the flip side, like, let's say then a girl changes her mind. Well, then go be very blunt with that guy. Be like, hey, I actually would be open to that.
Yes.
Because, and then, obviously.
Don't just start throwing hints back at them,
Yeah, don't just start being like, well, maybe. Yeah, please, for the love of God, do not do the hint thing. Yeah. Be very blunt and be like, hey, actually, no, I think I would be interested.
And like,
again.
I mean, in like church and community groups, there's like friends amongst,
Sure.
married couples and stuff like that, but like,
Yeah, and that's
your
great.
dad doesn't have a girl best friend, and your mom doesn't have a guy best friend besides each other.
Correct. Yeah. If your parents have an opposite gender best friend,
Go talk to your parents.
Yeah. There are problems.
Go tell your parents to go see couples counseling.
Yeah, because they need help.
This is brought to you by
The Bible.
The Bible.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right. What's the next one? All right. This one will be interesting.
This was pretty tough.
Yeah. Tyler, you get to answer this next question. Okay.
All
Answer
right.
the question.
What burdens do you wish you didn't have to carry, like as a guy? How would you
I
want to
can't.
approach a woman? Oh.
I know this was a hot topic of debate on the women podcast.
Hey, let's go. I love hot topics.
I love that
And
story.
it's the idea that men have to make the first move.
Men should make that first move.
Men,
See, I
think-
like making the first move.
Let's talk about it.
Well,
Let's discuss.
Yeah,
Let's discuss.
I love that because it's like I get to take the first step in that direction. Yeah, it's an opportunity for you to get shot down, but it's like
Being a man.
it's so sweet to
Yeah.
like get the opportunity to do so.
And if you're shot down, then you know it's not happening.
Exactly.
And it's not like you're waiting on. Go ahead,
And
Tyler.
just for clarification, not that like you can't make it, like men can't make the first move. It's more of like there's an opportunity for women to make
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
move.
No,
it's understandable.
I think it goes back to the clarity thing.
Yeah.
But I think
absolutely.
that sometimes you're not even like looking at that.
Yeah.
Potentially seeing that girl as a, like that. And so if she comes up and be like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
I like you or something like that, and makes it clear, like, hey, we should go grab a coffee. At least start it off. But you weren't even like looking in her direction.
Yeah.
Right. And so for if it's
gotcha.
that, like if it's someone out of the blue, like a girl
Yeah.
approaching a guy, it's like okay, how do I deal with this well?
Yeah.
Because as a guy, for most women, you ask, that takes a lot for a girl to approach a guy and be like, hey, I'm interested in you. Would you be down to hang out? That you would not believe how much courage that takes for a girl to do that. So
It's a lot of courage for me, too.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's courage on everybody's part. But like as a guy, like I think there has to be
It's
that.
actually really easy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I'm in a very happy relationship, so I
I'm
don't
very
Yes,
single.
ask girls out anymore.
Praise God.
Love you,
I really
Rebecca.
didn't
single
beforehand,
Pringle,
but
baby.
Love you, Rebecca.
yeah, love you, Anya. You're the best.
But back
Just
to
shout out to her.
yeah, shout out. But back to what you were saying, Tyler. As for you as a guy, would you want a woman to like come on strong and be like, "Hey, I like you," on a date you? How would that make you personally feel?
Seen.
So ready.
It would catch me off guard,
Yeah,
obviously. 'cause
I'd get
that never
butterflies.
happens to me.
in a good way or a bad way?
It depends.
Let's expand on that.
Depends on what, Tyler.
Tyler, what?
Yeah, what's a pit out there, Tyler?
The modesty of.
Yes.
What was the question again before that?
It was what burdened you, which you didn't have to carry.
No, I meant like, what was your follow up
How
question?
did you feel?
I said like how.
How would I feel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if a-
the
if a
girl came
woman
up on you.
If a woman approached you, let's say this is a girl that you like, okay, and she comes up to you and says, "Hey, I would like, I'd be interested. I'm interested in you. Are you interested in me?"
Do we need some visual representation? I can provide. I can be a
Yeah.
girl.
Do you need a scenario?
What- Tyler, I got you.
Yeah, just
Hey, Tyler.
How you would be fine with that?
Yeah.
Let's say it was a girl that you weren't interested in. How'd you deal with that?
The same way a girl would deal with me.
Very bluntly. How would you like to be dealt with in that situation?
I would hope very bluntly.
Yeah. For the love of God, tell me. No.
Ease, not like, yeah, get out of my face, but like,
Yeah, obviously, yeah. No, that's good.
Put him down easy. Yeah, good job, Tyler.
Yeah.
we're not friends anymore.
But
J-Fan, what burdens do you wish you didn't have to carry as a man?
I'll be really honest and just make this hot take. I think any burden a man carries is probably as good for him to carry it. I think that's
Yep.
your design as a man, is to carry burdens that your wife is not designed to.
Correct.
And so I'll say I don't think that there's a burden I wish I didn't have to carry. The ones that I carry, I know that I carry them so she doesn't have to. And I'm single, but I know that having been in a relationship and then knowing I'll be married, there are things that men carry because we're designed to do so.
Correct.
And so a good man will do what's best for his significant other, regardless of what that costs him. And I do my best to strive to be that man now so that when I'm in a relationship, there's not a burden that she'll ever have to carry. So I don't think that there's a burden that I wish I didn't have to carry.
Very good.
I want to input. I think in a lot of relationships this can happen, and it's not a burden you should carry, but like being her happiness
Yes.
is not your burden to carry.
Correct.
She should be in love with Jesus.
Correct.
And Jesus should make her whole and make her happy. And as for you, you just make you happy, make you whole.
Yes.
Where y'all don't need each other.
Correct.
Yep.
But, you guys all, you know, pushing forward towards Jesus together.
Yeah.
And that's good and healthy.
Yeah.
But if something were to happen, obviously, yeah, it hurt. But like, you're not in a place of deep, dark depression because that was your source of life, basically, you know?
Yeah.
That's one burden
Yes.
you shouldn't carry.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't be a burden at all.
Oh, yeah, it shouldn't be a burden at all.
Yeah.
And then one I've always carried from like a young age, which
Mm-hmm.
I've always talked to my parents about this, and I don't know why I did. But even from like I was like 8, I can remember like that started. But like I always had the fear of failing to succeed in providing for my family. And that's something I've always carried, even from a young age. Don't know why, but like I always feared in the future that, you know, I'd lose my job or something like that, and then I won't be able to provide for my family. And I want to be able to be that place to where I can provide for my family, and if my wife wants to work, she can, but she does not have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if she wants to pick up a hobby or something like that, that's cool. But like,
Make some
I don't
money.
want her to be like have to, you know, bring in money to help feed the family. You
Correct.
Right.
know, like I carry that burden
Yeah.
because like,
I'm the man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to,
That's good.
and I don't want to see her like have to like put in the grunt work. You know, I feel like that's my responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's really good. Because and if, so I know this is still reading through questions from people. Yeah, I would say as a guy, I mean, even with what you said, Jay, fan of like, there's stuff that as men like we're designed to carry. Like we have to carry them. And like what you saying of being a provider, protector. I'm trying to think what other ones. Being a spiritual leader.
Yeah,
That's a big one. Being very sensitive to your wife and what your kids need. I think that was one thing, actually, what you said in terms of being someone's happiness or their feelings or whatever. I think there's a distinction that has to be made for dating and married. So like in the Bible where it's always that verse that everyone likes to talk about, it being like, oh yeah, wives submit to your husbands as Christ did to the church, and husbands lay down your life for your wives like Christ did.
I got so much to say about that.
Well, and so I was listening to this sermon, and it really hit me. And it said, "This does not apply to dating people." And I went,
Yeah, say it a few more times.
like, and it's like, yeah,
this
it's
does
literally
not
right
apply
there.
to dating people.
Yeah, of like,
Oh, hey, this does not apply to dating people.
yeah,
This does not apply to dating people.
Come on.
and of like, and like that was something I listened. I was like, oh dang, like obviously like I knew that, but then whenever he said it, I'm like, oh wow, we do put so many like pressures and things into dating that are like, oh wait, that's for marriage.
It's like-
so bad. In
Like you're choosing that person to
Yeah.
like date and stuff like that, but you're not committed for life with that person.
Not yet.
Yeah. As a dude, are you someone who's worth being followed? Are you a man that's worth being respected? Do you do what you're supposed to do? Do you care? Do you provide? Do you? Are you like
Working on it. Working on it.
Yeah. Are you worthy of that? And I think a lot of people, I think
That's what dating is supposed to be. It's supposed to be, honestly, a girl going, is looking at this man's character.
It's an evaluation.
The
it's
evaluation.
an
The dating
evaluation.
is this man worthy of me trusting?
Yeah.
And I don't like the word submit. It's, I think, really trusting and following his lead. I think trusting him because you can you only submit to someone who you trust, and you only submit to their leadership if you trust them. And so I think trust is a bit. And for a guy, it's this girl. It's her character. One of that of a woman that I'll sacrificially lay my life down for what's best for her.
Yeah.
You don't start doing that while you're dating.
Yeah.
Correct, because you can't, because you see people who do it all the time where they get overcommitted or they open up really fast, and it's like, what are you doing? Like you're being, don't give all of yourself to this person.
Yeah.
It might not even be worth your time, and it is really an evaluation.
Yeah, I've never done
and a lot of people do a really bad job of just evaluating. That sermon that I'm telling you, this was such a good sermon. It was by Robert Madu.
Okay.
Social Dallas. on their podcast. So the Social Dallas podcast called Built to Last.
Yeah.
In the Love is Blind series. I was listening to that and I was like, wow, this is
Love is
so
Blind series
good.
is really good.
So if you want to listen to a really good podcast about that, go listen to that one because that one was freaking fire. Any other thoughts on that? Being a man that's worth following. I think that's one thing a lot of dudes miss out on. Is like, dude, if you're a guy who has your stuff together and you're not chasing women, this can sound horrible, but women are attracted to guys who have their stuff together.
Yep.
They are attracted to men who are not chasing after everything else. They're attracted to men who are confident, who love well, who are there for your people, that serve, that are others focused. Like, women are attracted to that and like actually like they want that. But I think a lot of guys miss out and they focus on other crap and like trying to like get people to like them. And it's like, no, actually, if you focus on yourself and you do what you believe you're called to do, well, then people will like you because you know what you're about. And most people don't know what they're about, men especially. And so women are attracted to guys who have their stuff together. Yeah.
You know,
Austin's like, yes, I know.
I know I have my stuff.
He's like, all right, let's do some end with some fun questions.
Hit me.
All right.
okay.
What is, for you personally, as a dude, when you're looking at women, what's a green flag? Jathan, we'll start with you.
Is she the alpha of the friend group? You know?
Can she squat 3 plates?
Can she run?
Can she bench
Can she run a 4-minute mile?
I'm sure your girl can. Absolutely.
That's why he said that.
A big green flag, like, but we'll get the really obvious ones out of the way, like loves Jesus, has holy character. Like, those are all obvious green flags. Those are mandatory boxes.
Those are mandatory
boxes.
boxes.
Like top 2. It's like the name on the test.
Yeah,
You have it done.
Yeah.
It's like
If you don't check these, you cannot move.
I
Let's
can't
go
move forward.
A big green flag is, I'll just say the personal thing that I look for, and is a non-negotiable green flag for me, is her words carrying weight.
Yeah.
Huge thing. I think it's a green flag. It should be a green flag across the board.
Yes.
But if you really listen to anyone, guy or girl,
Yeah.
you can feel their words.
Yeah.
Some people can say something that's hollow, and some people can say the exact same thing, and it carries weight. So a big green flag for me is, do her words carry weight?
That's good.
I think for another good one, for me personally, is intentionality. If we're talking and you pull your phone out and, mid convo and just like, text it, and it's just like, okay, like, are you really even listening to me? That kind of stuff. Like, that's the red flag part. The green flag part is, if they're sitting there, phones in the pocket, all that kind of stuff, and like they're listening to you, understanding you and hearing you, and able to like, conversate basically. If you can't hold a conversation, it's kind of just like, that's a red flag. Green flag, holding a conversation and being intentional about the conversations you're in, especially if I'm trying to get to know you.
Yeah. It's good. Awesome.
Tyler?
Or Tyler, you going?
Mine goes back to what we were talking about earlier about, like, I don't remember whatever the first question was about.
Modesty.
Like, not modesty.
That's the first one, right?
We talked about
That's an obvious green flag, though.
Well, yeah.
the first thing you see. It was like basically just like how you interact with the other people around you. Like,
Yeah.
if like you treat your friends and other people like crap.
Yeah, well then, I don't want you. Sorry, honey.
But if you're very like genuine and like respectful, and it's a genuine respect. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Green flag.
my turn.
Yeah.
I've got a couple.
Oh yeah.
Do it.
I'll go.
No, I thought it was just one green flag. I got a lot.
Hey, he can do a couple.
Listen here.
No, he just said he just says Becca Ortiz.
I can't even add on. I can't even add on to mine. Both in like how they treat people to their face and behind their back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That
good.
goes, that goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. No backstabbers.
Probably the biggest one for me is the ability to show the love of Jesus to you, and like show the compassion, but also challenge. It's
Yeah.
it's very easy to get comfortable in a relationship where you're not challenged because it's smooth sailing.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not healthy. Like you
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to be
it
challenged.
isn't.
You need to go through the tough. You need to have those hard conversations.
Yep.
And that's what makes it go well in the long run. Like you get to hear the deep and dark. You get to hear the stuff that gets underneath their skin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's whenever you're willing and whenever they're willing to do those conversations with you, it's mind blowing.
Yes.
Because it's very fulfilling in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a depth that gets built.
Yeah.
And actually, whenever you said that, in my brain I was like, oh, that's really. When people talk about hard conversations, people are always like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship to have hard conversations. I think
Kind of need that.
Yeah, you need that, bro.
Right, well,
You really need that.
what I was saying of what a hard conversation is like you slowing down and you being like, hey, that thing really bothered me.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't communicate well whenever you shut down on me.
Yeah.
Or hey, like being very intentional. Like those are hard conversations because they take time to have.
And I want to shut up, but like, I'm not saying obviously we're perfect, but that's one thing you do have is really good communication. And I'm not gonna say it's off the bat when like something happens. I'm like, what you just said made me feel like this. It's not like that, but it's like, have the conversation, let that down, like, hey, during that kind of thing, like that made me feel belittled.
Yeah.
Like you didn't respect my opinion I had on that or something like that. And we've had that actual conversation. And then it's like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't know that's how it was taken. Or like, I'm sorry, I didn't know it felt like that to you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll, we'll work on that and figure that out next time if that ever comes up again,
Yeah. My second one was a thorough and godly relationship with their parents.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Yep.
That
Also
was
my second
something
one.
that was very clear to me and very clear in my relationship with Becca is that she and her parents' relationship is outer worldly. It is very God-driven, faith-driven, and it is just such a sweet household. And you can tell that they raised their daughter very well.
Yeah.
And it's like a glowing from that, and it's very cool to see, and it's encouraging, and it's something that I just get to know whenever I walk through the front door every single time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So my red flag was good relationship with parents.
Yeah.
I think another big green flag. Wait, no, that was a
Maybe
green
a
flag.
red flag.
Yeah,
You
green
didn't have a
flag,
good, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Good
I just
relationship.
want I want her as far away from her as possible.
Yeah.
Gosh, Jason. Okay,
I want to be her only fan.
sure.
Oh no. All right.
A big green flag is being unoffendable.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Being willing to have conversations.
If you can have a conversation about something that makes your blood boil, and you can have that conversation of
Like an
out of a
adult.
heart posture that you're not offended and you're upset, but you're able to have a conversation about that thing that really poked a part of you, and you're able to talk about it from a place of love and selflessness, and even being willing to be upset and see something from another perspective, and willingness to point out this or that or whatever that really, really bothered you from a place of like Sam said, like that really, really bothered me or whatever. But being unoffendable is
that's really
huge.
good.
That's good.
And I think one thing, it's not like the green flags off the bat, like, oh, does she interact with people, all that kind of stuff, but like, as you do, like, start hanging out with them or you start dating them, and it is, go ahead. I
want to see where you were going with it.
but like, one of the green flags for me is like, challenging me in my faith as well.
Yes,
And one thing
absolutely.
Anya has done, and I knew about it, like being, spiritual, all that kind of stuff, but like she is very spiritual. She's a very spiritual person. and like opening that up, like that's a different aspect of the father that I've seen now. To be able to like, I won't say tap into like I can just switch it on, but like learning that and growing in that has been very, I won't say beneficial, like it was like she brought that in, you know what I mean? But like it's been very growing in the relationship, and that's that's a green flag. But that's something it's like learn kind of a little bit down the road. It's not like off the bat green flag that you just like I can see she's gonna challenge me, but it's like as you grow in that, that's a green flag.
No, that's really good. Tyler,
yeah. I was blowing your answer off. I'm sorry. That's just,
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
But that was a good one. I wish I would have thought about it. I was gonna say both having boundaries, and respecting boundaries.
Yes.
In what way?
Yeah.
Like a relationship. Like if you have boundaries, like you don't want to do this or do that until like obviously like stuff like marriage. Like,
Yep. No, that's good. Most people, I think that's a big green flag if people like have standards. It's like, oh wow, this person actually respects himself. Good. They're not desperate. They don't need me. I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't.
That's a big green flag. She doesn't need me. Huge green flag.
Well, oh, fantastic. So it doesn't matter if I screw up or not. She's gonna be fine either way.
But it's,
I want to say like I had a list, nothing like that. But there was like, obviously besides like the main check boxes, Christian, all that kind of stuff. But like relationship with Jesus, not just, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I had like 3 things. And it was like, one, funny or like can take my jokes. And I can have sometimes very blunt jokes, right? And that are kind of not like hard to hear, like the deep or dark, nothing like that. But like, little jabs, I guess you can say.
Maybe something to get a little under her skin. Maybe make her a little mad, but she'll recover.
But then I'm just joking, and it's healed, like a Band-Aid. No.
You ever heard that Morgan Wallen song, you can't put a Band-Aid in a bullet hole? Yeah, my joke put bullet holes in it. But I don't know Band-Aids anyway.
I ran out of Band-Aids. But I could use a humorous. We'll say that. Someone who's forgiving.
It's good.
Because I know I'm not perfect and I know I'll mess up.
Yeah.
And then someone who isn't like, this is a personal one, but someone who's not like overly girly. I like camping. I like nature. I like
I like man stuff.
I like to go dig a hole. That's what I do.
I want to dig a hole and be proud of it.
Just to dig a hole.
But like,
Worst. I hate digging
not
holes.
somebody like, I can't do that. My
I've
nails are gonna break.
I've dug so many holes.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
it is a great movie.
it is a great movie. But like
Shia
that,
LaBeouf.
like, my shoes are gonna get dirty if we go do this. Like, I don't.
Standing.
Just don't care about
Don't
that.
do me.
Get my shoes dirty.
Yeah, for real. Okay, I have certain shoes that get dirty. Okay,
Yeah,
we're not gonna talk about that right
Heck
now.
yeah.
That's why I have an extra pair in my car.
No way.
So, but yeah, those were like my 3 like green flags.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm gonna get y'all's thoughts, and actually that came from that sermon that I recommended earlier. Of he was talking about this really interesting thing of like men want respect, women want to be loved. And so it's often this weird thing in marriage where if the dude doesn't feel respected, he withdraws love, and if the wife doesn't feel love, she withdraws respect. And I was like, oh wow, that's very true. And he was talking about how women actually are built to love and to care and to
nurturing
be
people.
They're built that way. And I think men are as well. I think a lot of people, whenever this topic comes up specifically, like, oh, so men just have egos, and it's like, no, like men actually, I think, are very much built to want to love and want to be protective and want to be the everything. But if it's not kind of built on this like baseline thing of like, okay, my wife in this case like respects me and loves me, well then obviously I want to give her the world. So what are y'all's thoughts on that one? on respect specifically in y'all's context, how do you think that applies?
Well, I think as far as like that whole like, I think that's because it's been misunderstood and poorly communicated a lot. The whole men need respect kind of thing.
Yes.
One, you don't ever get to ask for respect or demand respect.
Correct.
Your character and how you live your life is what should make your wife respect you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Are you worthy of being respected?
Yes.
So that goes back to like a little bit what you said earlier. If you have your stuff together,
Yeah.
women will respect you just off the bat. 'Cause
Yeah.
they know you've worked
Right,
hard
he's
for
got
what
it,
you
yeah.
have.
Correct.
But keep going, JPN.
Yes.
No, I think that was it. If you're a guy and you're ever in a place of like, you should respect me. One, women, don't ever date that guy. Run far away. And
Douchebag.
dude, you're an idiot. Get your stuff together
Yeah.
and let yourself and humble yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Sit down.
Yeah.
yeah, I do think that that's very true in the nature of in being a guy is your significant other respecting you and your character and also like you're like, yeah, guys are really I feel like I've been told I'm a little bit more emotional when it comes to being a guy
me too,
than
yeah.
most guys. I'm a little bit more in tune with my emotions.
Yeah.
And so, but I also know like my dad is the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that like at the core of my dad he is so soft and is so driven to take care of my mom and my sister and me.
Yeah.
And so behind any guy, I debated whether I was going to share this or not, but I think I will. At the center of any guy, every guy, no matter how hard the exterior, there's a really, really, really soft
Yes.
core. And my maybe not a hot take, but my opinion theory is that I really think that there's like genuinely like a little boy inside of every man.
Yes.
And I really do believe that. And so I think one, like the man will outpour love on a woman who accepts that part of him.
Mm.
And so if I let you see that part of me, one, you have all of me.
Yeah.
Because that's the most vulnerable a guy can ever get is letting your girl see like the little boy that's inside of him. And if you see that and you respect that and take care of like that little guy, then I'll give you everything. Like there's nothing I'll ever not do for you. Because if he's secure with you, then you got all of me.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Men, I fully believe this. Men are deeper feelers and deeper lovers than women are. Doesn't look like it because we often cover it up because we don't want to feel that.
Yeah.
We literally will do whatever it takes to not feel
show
that. To not show that, to not feel that. We will literally bury it and do what it takes to make sure that never happens. But if you get, like you just said, if a woman can love your most vulnerable, now obviously like you don't walk around and being like a vulnerable, like obviously there's lines to that, but of like if a woman loves you for that, dude,
I would even say on another depth to that, I think only the right girl can ever actually have access to your inner child, that little boy that's in you. Only the right girl can ever want to even get there or even make you realize that he even exists. A lot of guys don't even know that he exists, that you have an inner child. So,
but like what you said earlier, you can get that emotional tie with someone. If you go showing that, emotional tie with a whole bunch of people, and then that, the girl you're talking to, you're dating, isn't available at that time, and then you go talk to someone else about it, that's on, I won't say untrustworthiness, but like it kind of is. It's just like, why, if you are dating me, like why wouldn't you want to come talk to me, I guess, in that aspect? Because I'm there for you. It's that partnership.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't go talk to someone else about something you're very vulnerable about, and that hurts me.
yeah,
Correct.
That's how I can see that situation playing out.
yeah, you wouldn't,
But yeah, and I guess for me also, J-Fan, like I've always been told, even by my brother, like I've in-tuned my emotions, but like
it's actually really healthy.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it
But
is.
like I've tried being like macho, don't show anything in like a past relationship, and I went south fast. And so it's like, I realized that's who I am, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing, you don't have to, they're all parts where you cover up,
Sure.
Definitely not to say off the bat like you need to, but at the same time, a little bit. But being who I am, and I know I'm a little bit more emotional than some dudes, that's okay, that's who I am. And I have found someone that respects that. And who's, I won't say okay with that, but,
Austin, you have any thoughts?
What is the?
What do you think about men being deeper feelers than women?
I mean, I feel a lot.
Men have feelings too.
Yeah.
No, I'm very clear with how I feel. I like to get like my thought process out and allow the people that I'm discussing whatever it is with to understand why I'm feeling this way and how I'm feeling. Because I feel like they have the right to know that. And yeah, in my relationship, I'm very much so like I like to share. I want that to be known.
Yeah.
Someone that I love very deeply,
Yeah.
and I think they deserve to know what's actually going on in my head. Because you're only doing yourself a disservice.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
If you hold that in.
Correct.
And in previous relationship, I was I'm gonna hold everything in and I'm gonna bottle it up until it's too late, until it's at the point where it's hurting me.
Yeah.
Obviously, like that relationship was super toxic and horrible. But it was to the point where I like it's so negative, bringing myself down as a whole. And yeah, like having someone who is thoroughly wanting to know the deeper, true feelings that I'm having. It's so genuine and so helpful and healthy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I also think with a little bit with this too, it's like, we do care, but especially the person we're dating, or at the same time, want to pursue. We care about what you think about us too. And so I think men can definitely overthink a lot. And that can get in a very bad headspace.
Me overthink? No.
No, dude, I you know what? Scratch that. Don't put that in.
Get that one out of here.
Yeah.
I don't keep myself up for 3 hours past when I want to go to bed overthinking.
Yeah, no, I've
Only
never,
staring at my shoes.
That was me being generous.
I've never cried in my car.
By myself.
Yeah.
Sad
Ever.
boy hours.
Yeah. But
It's crazy.
no, I think men can definitely overthink. Men do overthink. From experience, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
Good.
And it is very tough, especially when there is no clarity and there is no communication and stuff like that, and you carry that burden of having to fix everything. In a relationship, I've carried that one too, of like everything's on me, all of it's on me. So she's not happy, it's on me. If she's sad, that's because of my fault. Oh, my bad, I did that.
Yeah.
But then, it was a very stressful time for Sam at that point. And so, I think in that aspect too, that is also portrayed when we overthink too, and it's expressed in our feelings. And then that bottle that we put down can, open up at some point, which isn't cool. And you can just, snap.
That's good. Any closing thoughts?
What's your green flags? Jeremiah, you never answered.
My green flags?
We're gonna go back a couple questions, but what's your green flag?
Oh no. I think everything that y'all said about, obviously like
okay, cop out.
that's not a cop out. But yeah, of like obviously they have to love Jesus. How they treat people matters. How they carry themselves matter. Are they pretty like? I think one thing I've had to like learn is that, so I'm being real honest, women who are like really independent, like for whatever reason that made me feel like, but like I've actually like really grown to love that. Like women who have their stuff together, I'm like,
Bro,
dang, that's freaking attractive. Like,
Yeah.
That's such a big green flag.
take
like,
me.
if you know what you're about.
Take my money.
I have a question.
Yeah.
me and Anya have like these little card games we play just to like get each other to, you know, get to know each other better. Because like sometimes you don't have all the questions. And one of them was like, how do you feel if the woman is the breadwinner in the relationship?
Austin said, heck yeah.
And like,
He said that will be my reality.
Hey, equality, you know? Come on.
He said that's about to be my
That's what I'm
reality.
fighting for.
I'm gonna be a pastor.
She needs to be the breadwinner.
She's gonna be an engineer.
Yeah.
Quality, bro.
But yeah, that was one of the questions
So
that
good.
came up last night.
Yeah, and questions like that, like I think a lot of dudes have never like been met with that kind of question. And obviously, I don't think there's no right or wrong answer. Obviously, I think as a guy, it depends on like what you're called to and what your giftings and your skills are. Hopefully, in whatever you do, that you're doing them to the best of your ability. But like, and then same for her of like, hey, however you decide to like, if she's gonna work or if you know. She's just stay at home with kids or whatever. I mean, I'm not anyone to tell them how to live their lives, but like, you know, I think as a guy, you those types of questions as a guy, you have to be like, oh, what do I think about that? Yeah. Like, how do I feel about that thing?
Tyler, are you raising your hand? Okay. I have another question. I mean, we can go deeper into this if you want, but I know earlier in something you said was like carrying the burdens of being like, you know, the spiritual leader and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yep.
And I know we were all involved in the church and kind of like pursuing that too. But like, what does that kind of look like?
What does that look like to be
being
the
like,
spiritual leader?
Yeah. Just throwing it out there to, you know,
Well, I think the
asking for a friend. I'm just kidding, but not messing. Like, how does one go about that, or like, what does that look like, I guess?
yeah, I think for me personally, of like, all right, well, first off, am I spiritually leading myself?
Yeah.
Well, or to the level that I believe that I need to be leading myself. If you're not leading yourself, you can't lead others. Like this, period.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing others a disservice if you are not. If you are not up to where you know that you're healthy and that you're good to be able to then lead others, you have to like evaluate that first. But then being a spiritual leader, I think that looks like, I mean, obviously I'm obviously not married, but like, you know, it looks like maybe.
You're not?
Whoa, that's crazy. Maybe that looks like praying with your wife. It looks like having a Bible study. Maybe that looks like like literally being very intentional about asking her about her walk with the Lord.
Yeah.
Whenever you have kids, reading the Bible with your kids, like talking about life with your kids, like being very intentional about walking and talking through stuff.
You need your dad on a podcast.
Yeah. No, I want to get my dad on
Give
the
me an
podcast.
elder.
But like,
Wait, what?
An elder. Elder.
You know.
Yeah, he's another.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Give me an elder.
give me Elder Ron.
Elder Ron. Come on. I'm never gonna say that.
Yeah, of
good
like
stuff.
just being very intentional.
Yeah.
And being just very conscientious of like, and I've even like thought about this, is like, as a man, if you are not intentionally discipling and being very intentional with your wife, your kids, heck, your friends, your coworkers, if you're just not being intentional with the relationships God has already given you, what makes you think that He'll give you more? Or asking yourself, all right, am I stewarding well what the Lord's already given me?
Yeah.
Because I think as men specifically, we're all called to be leaders. You will one day be a husband. You will one day be a father. You'll be a supervisor. You will be a pastor. You'll be a manager. Like, you will be leading people. You'll first be leading yourself, hopefully, and then you'll be leading others. And so I think a lot of guys just don't know where to start. And that's where if you're someone listening and you're thinking, man, I don't know where to start. I don't know. Like, find if you have a good relationship with your parents, dude, go talk to if you're a guy, go talk to your dad. Just go talk to your parents in general. But if you have a pastor, if you have people in your life, like young adults that are like, obviously not every young adult, but like if you're a young adult who's walking with the Lord and their life bears fruit of someone who's walking with the Lord and has their stuff together, dude, like, do life for that person. And just getting around people who are a little farther down the road than you. I think a lot of people do themselves a disservice by only running with people their age and in their same stage of life. They do themselves a major disservice by not running with people.
You mean
who
you
are
don't have
older.
more interest in me and we're the same age?
Well,
you don't
that's
have things
crazy.
figured out?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy. Yeah, go run with some married couples.
Yeah.
Go run with some people who are farther down the road. Do yourself a service.
Yeah.
And I can say this because that my life growing up being homeschooled, I was hardly ever around people that were my own age, hardly ever. And so I learned a lot from adults, and just being around just different, mature, more conversation. Dude, I heard more about money and relationships
The
and
quality of the
marriage.
grass. Wow.
I literally learned and heard and was exposed to more of that stuff at an early age than most people will ever be in their life. And I'm like, wow, that's literally one of the biggest blessings in my life. But of like, dude, like get around some people who can help you grow as a person. And I think as a man specifically, like take yourself seriously and love yourself enough to like get yourself in a place that you're happy. Like I'm even like, I'll be real honest, asking myself this of like, man, am I healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not where I want to be. Oh, well, got to do that. Is my money where I want it to be? Nope, not right now. It's not. Is my relationship with the Lord where I want it to be? Nope, not really. Okay, well, what do you have to do to do that?
Yeah.
Because then you will be in a much healthier spot, and it's beneficial. And so get people around you who are willing to walk with you through that, and just get going. Just start somewhere.
Yeah.
And so as a guy, like, and again, back to the deal of like, hey, if you want, well, first I always think of the verse of like, seek first the kingdom of heaven and everything else gets added.
6:32. Matthew 6:32.
Yeah. And if you're walking with the Lord and if you're running after him, well, then everything else gets taken care of.
You need a wife? Boom, she'll come.
Yeah.
You need money?
That was
Boom, it'll
loud
come.
on the mic.
Yeah.
That's for sure loud.
No.
My ears hurt.
Sorry.
I heard that
Apologies.
here.
Sorry,
That's
everyone.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Sorry, headphone listeners.
Yeah. Warning.
No warning.
Um,
But yeah, of like, are you preparing yourself as a guy specifically? And I think for a lot of single dudes and women, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to be in a relationship. Oh my gosh, it's like, no, like, take this time and like get yourself where you want to be. Like, Paul talks about like being single is like it's a blessing. Not saying being in a relationship is a curse. Obviously, if it's the right with
It
person,
is awesome.
but
It is a blessing.
it is a blessing.
pros
But
to
it's
both.
it's two different things. So don't be upset whenever it's not working out for you. It's like, well, okay, well then that means maybe the Lord has me in this season for a reason, and I gotta work.
I have to
through
date
some stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just gotta date Jesus right now.
Living a singleness
Yeah.
season right now. It's the worst word on the planet. Season.
It's a
Your
position.
mouth.
It's a position, not a season.
Yeah, it's a position, not a season.
And if you need to be married, God will provide you with the best spouse, better than you can pick.
Yep.
And I know this can go probably a lot in marriage too, but later down the road, it's also in relationships. Even though you have someone, if you're not intentional with them, you can still be lonely in a relationship.
If you're lonely while you're single, being in a relationship will not remove that.
It would not fix it.
Absolutely not.
Not one bit.
Yeah.
Good.
Come to Woods Edge Young Adults. We have a good community. You can make friends and not be lonely. There you go.
We sometimes have
Soft
candy
plug.
too.
Yeah. With the plug. Shout out.
We have
Shut up.
candy.
Shut it. Come serve it. It's at
I'll bring free candy.
student camp this
Yeah.
year, May
Thanks, we need
31st through June 4th.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. We need
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Look,
we need
plug it out
leaders.
there.
Please. Please. Where's the camera?
Please.
Please.
Tyler?
Tyler, any closing thoughts? No.
Tyler's like, what they said.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
they said.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for coming and chatting about this. This was really fun.
Jeremiah's single, everyone.
Oh, good lord.
So Tyler.
If you made it to the deep end
Austin,
of this pod,
Austin and Sam are not single.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
not.
Love you, Rebecca.
Yeah,
very
sorry
good
guys.
looking,
I love
but
you, Anya.
they're single. But if you
You're
made it to
amazing.
the deep
That was
end
gonna
of
be
this
my closing
episode,
thoughts.
thanks for listening. Hope it was encouraging. Hope it was insightful, even though we don't know much, but hopefully what we do know helped you. But love y'all. Hope you have a fabulous day. Peace.
Catch up.